So more lore about Mortal Kombat 1 has dropped, and not because it was officially revealed, but it's just a question of language setting, which is freaking insane. But first, let's look at her community art. This is pixel art created to commemorate one of the most iconic moments to happen in FGC history after the famous Sonic Fox 13-0 of a Perfect Legend. And that is this loud-mouthed Mortal Kombat player who challenged Sonic Fox and lost and had to become a furry. So of course the art community had to make some drawings of this, and they actually gave this guy, aka GG Quackerman, a fursona, and it was a duck because of course it was. I will leave a link to this artist's Twitter in the description of this video if you want to like this or retweet it, whatever it. So what is this new information that has dropped about Mortal Kombat 1? Where if you change from English to any of the other regions, it'll actually give more information in the character bios, specifically the bio of Kitana and Mileena. Now, I speak 3 languages, so I was like, might as well use a language that I know, which is French, because I actually want to translate it myself and not have to rely on Google to do it, to see it more in context, right? Because I think that context is really important in this case. So I will go over it in French and then I'll explain it in English after. So for Kitana, the line that changes is the very first one, where it says, en tant que deuxième fille de Sindel et Jerrod, Kitana n'a qu'un seul but dans la vie. So basically it says, as Sindel and Jerrod's daughter. So right now this is new information to us. In this timeline, Kitana and Mileena are both Sindel and Jerrod's daughters. So does that confirm Sindel and Jerrod? For the base roster, it definitely does not, but they will be in the story in some capacity. Now, the English translation is pretty good. It says the second daughter of Sindel and Jerrod, so it's relatively the same thing, right? I just wanted to make sure that some things or context wasn't lost in translation, as it were. Now, let's look at Mileena. Now, in French, it says, il murmure que Kitana, la meilleure incarnation de la sagesse, devrait remplacer Mileena comme héritière de Sindel. So in English, this basically means that Mileena is Sindel's heir. So the fact that they say that she is Sindel's heir specifically and not Jerrod's heir is because Sindel is probably the Empress of Outworld, in the story at least. So something does happen to Jerrod yet again. Whether it's by General Shao's hand or Raiko maybe, I think that would be the most plausible explanation, since there is a bit of a switching of positions between the two. No longer is Raiko a simp for Shao Kahn and trying out his helmet, looking at himself in the mirror and saying, man, I would make a great emperor. I think in this timeline, Raiko probably tried to murder Jerrod to become emperor. But hey, it might still be Shao Kahn. This is just my own speculation that this will be a bit different this time around, but we'll see soon enough. So in the English version, it says, they whisper that Kitana, with her steadier hand, must replace Mileena as Sindel's heir. So again, nothing was lost in translation. It's pretty much the same thing, right? So this is really interesting story-wise. They went with the same-ish lore for all the other timelines. I'm just really curious to see what will be Jerrod's role. What will happen to Jerrod? Will Shao have anything to do with this? Will it be Raiko this time? Will it actually be Sindel who murders him to take the throne for herself? Like, there's so many possibilities here, and I think all of them are really interesting to explore. As long as Sindel isn't turned into some love-struck woman that betrays her daughter, just like in MK11, then I think most people will be pretty fine with it. I know a lot of the fandom does not want to see evil Sindel, but I think personally it could work, especially because there needs to be drama somewhere, right? Of course, there's this whole Mileena is diseased thing, but if the two sisters have to put their differences aside to actually go against their mother, then that could, be some really good storytelling and character development for them. Of course, it wouldn't be so good for people who like Sindel, but hey, villains can be really good and fascinating characters as well. And I know the Mortal Kombat community is not against that because a lot of people freaking love Scorpion, and they love Quan Chi, and they love Shang Tsung as well. So I think there is a place in our hearts for evil Sindel. But let me know what you guys think this means for the story, and your prediction of who is going to kill King Jerrod this time. And as always, have yourself a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll see you all very soon.